Bum 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 bum
Right.
bum 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 bum
Hello.
bum 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 bum.
Welcome to another exciting episode on our 24th of September. Chicken's fine then. 24th is still 5 days away.
Oh, that's cool.
24th September 2020.
Oh, we don't have to eat the quiche till tomorrow,
007.
then.
Oh, is that why you're doing that music? 007 manifesting. Shaken, not stirred. No, but it's the other way around. I thought 007 always stirred his.
Oh,
Oh, he shook it, did he?
shaken, not stirred.
Okay, all right.
Triple D Alona, Triple D Scott, Triple D
Cool.
Adelia, Triple D Marcy. Like I told you yesterday, Victoria, sooner or later we're going to have more Triple D'ers than civilians in the world. And that's good because we
In
don't...
the world.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot
Triple
of
D
courses.
Uma, Triple D Tommy. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Triple D
Yo.
Alona as well.
That's the
Again,
strutting
Triple D
Tommy.
Mary. Look
Tommy.
at this.
Cool. Hi, you guys. So welcome to another exciting Feel It Real Fun episode. Go to freenever.com.
That's right.
Subscribe to the 221 email list and get a pseudo-random email every single day until you die.
Triple D.
Join our 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
Masterycourse.com.
Half a donut, cheap ass cup of coffee. That's right. Looks like today is, it's all about me, sort of an extension of yesterday and the day before. So, we've been looking at identity-based manifesting that you can find at manifestingtothemax.com. So that's what these three shows have been about. And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
All right, so you guys that are doing the Manifesting to the Max thing inside the previous
Inside the
Triple D
DDD
thing,
thing.
make sure you share these shows in your things, right? Like I'll try to get to it, but this is all good for you guys. Right?
Cool.
It's actually good for everybody.
Everybody,
But
especially you guys.
All right, so today it's 007 Manifesting. Bum, bum, bum.
Yes.
So, Victoria,
Yes.
let us begin with a
Right.
Neville Goddard quote. By the way, guys,
Yes.
so I want everyone to write something down.
No clicker. Yay! Sorry.
Well, the clicker
Yes.
and the bond don't mix. Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, of course.
All right. So, by the way, who here knows what whiskey James Bond drinks?
What, whiskey?
Right. Don't
Well,
you
he's-
say don't.
I
No,
won't
you're
say.
not allowed to say
I'm
it.
just saying
Right?
he's
Let's see
very
who knows.
English. So I'm assuming it will be a
Triple D
UK-ish
Terry's here.
whiskey,
Triple D Terry's
which might be a
here.
clue.
All right. So, Victoria, let
Yes.
us... Okay. So here's the scenario, guys.
Yes.
Right? I'm imagining, but bum, bum, bum. It's... I'm not... I don't want you to wait anymore. Right? I am so tired of people being willing to wait. We've talked this week about revising as it happens.
Yes.
We've talked this week about how do you begin your day. Right? Joseph Goddard.
That's right.
Right?
And sneak in the biggie.
And sneak in the biggie. Right?
Yes.
That way you don't have, here's my little thing manifesting method, and here's my,
Or
shit,
the little thing. But
someday,
my
big thing.
I'll
Right?
keep for a special session.
McAllen, thanks for playing.
Wrong, Simmy.
By the way,
Sorry.
if you name the wrong bottle, you have to buy me a bottle of what it was.
Of what they named.
Yes.
So someone will put up some shit whiskey.
No, you have to buy me a bottle of what he did drink.
Oh, okay.
Sherry, boom.
Not the one they said.
All right.
Okay, got ya.
So, Victoria,
Yes.
so we don't want to wait anymore. I'm tired of people waiting and telling me and so on, and then I get the desperate emails, and it's like, yeah, how often do I experience desperation?
Desperation? You never experienced desperation, I don't think. I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever known you to.
Yeah, exactly. So, look at him
Excuse
going
me
to
for
town
clearing
on
my
Bruce. Damn.
Yeah.
He's feeling good today.
They're playing.
All right.
Okay.
They're playing. They're in bed.
So if it's not McAllen, that's weird because he always had martinis.
True.
You don't have a martini with whiskey.
Well, but whenever you read the books,
The books.
right?
Oh, okay.
All right. So, Victoria.
All right. So no
Ooh.
one else is going to give that a shot. Seeing
Boom.
as they've got to buy you the right one.
All right.
God.
All right. So, Victoria.
Okay. So now we'll have a Neville Goddard quote.
That's right.
If I can find it.
Because
down
it's
here.
all about me. Now, everybody write this down, right?
Yes.
You've got a choice. It's either all about me or let's wait and see. It's all about me or let's wait and see. Right? In other words, you can feel it real or you can look for signs. Where has Monica gone? Oh, where could she be? I'm sorry, he's in there. Hey, you guys remember the original James Bond? Remember he wore a cool hat too? All right.
But not like that.
No, but it was a cool hat close to this one. It wasn't a trilby. Right?
No.
No.
What was it?
It was sort of like a trilby. But it was like more of the Sinatra kind of hat. Oh. Sinatra.
Yeah, Sinatra was cool too. Got to find
Love
his
Sinatra.
Hat. All right. Okay,
Let's
so the first quote is...
Hague Club Whiskey. Nope. Hope.
Sorry,
I love my triple D'ers. You guys are really trying.
They play. All at their expense. Right. What would it be like if I were the man I want to be? Now, because it just reminds me of yesterday.
Yep.
When it was, if it's nothing tangible that you want.
Yep.
Because I just love that next bit. Choose a noble concept of man.
Yep.
And imagine him walking the earth like in you or something like that. It was just gorgeous.
Zuli said Valentine's.
No. You lose too. Wow, you got loads of whiskies coming your way.
I do like Valentine's though. For a cheap shit whiskey, that's a good one. So
what would it be like if I were the man I want to be?
Remember I called her Garden Girl? Right? That's noble. Right? Not the biatch in the garden. Where's your woman? Oh, she's yeah. How many guys talk about their wives like that? She's Garden Girl to me. You got it? Continue, Victoria.
So, you start with wanting to be. You desire to be other than the man that you seem to be.
Okay, notice Neville doesn't say better. You want to be better than who you is. No, you want to be different.
Yeah.
Right, different is better than better. Anyway, you guys have...
So it's Hope right now?
Nope.
Keep going, Hope. It's costing you a pretty penny. Right. Well, now, is it true that I could be?
Now, this is the quote continuing. There's 4 steps here I want you to notice. Okay?
So that's the first one. Well, now, is it true that I could be?
Ooh.
Well, if it were true, what would you see?
Keep going.
And how would you see the world? And how would your friends see you?
Okay. I want you to get how rich all that is. And let's break it down real quick. Ready? Because I'm telling you, no one else is talking about this. Right? And if you look back through our history on our shows, we've been talking about this for a while.
We have, because this reminds me of that show that we did ages ago. What would they be saying about you? And, yeah. Yep.
Okay. I want everyone to type down suspend disbelief. All right? This is important. All right? Suspend disbelief. So what was the first part of that quote, Victoria?
Well, now, is it true that I could be?
Is it true that I could be that? Right? You notice, Neville said that. Is it true that I could be that?
That person, that man.
You're suspending disbelief with that. Right? It's not, all right, I am a zillionaire. No, Neville's, remember yesterday, a noble concept. Right? Is it true? Read it again. That's really good.
Is it true that I could be?
Is it true that I could be? Is it true? You notice that's approaching a couple different angles at once. Is it true that I could be? Do you believe this shit works? Do you believe that you could no longer that it's possible for me?
Yeah.
That it's possible, period. That there's a whole bunch being wrapped up in one tiny little very powerful question. Suspending disbelief. Got it? Next.
Well, if it were true, what would you see?
What would you see? Right? If I were a BMW owner, what would I see? Ready? This is called content. It's easy. I would see a BMW. Or maybe I would see my hands on the steering wheel. Right?
See the keys on the kitchen table.
Yeah, what would I see?
Logo.
Right? What would I see? Right?
Yep.
Next.
How would you see the world?
Ooh, this is a little more personal, isn't it? How would I see the world as a BMW owner? When I came out of the shops yesterday, I believe it was, and parked next to the 325 IS, I believe it's an IS, was a 315i, right? About 2 years newer, a little bit cleaner, didn't have two dogs inside,
No.
but they're both black. And as a BMW owner, I go, oh, look at that, it's a little brother, right? Yeah. How do I see the world? Right? Oh, cool, man.
Bit smarter.
Yeah. He's taking care of it. That's nice. You really want to take care of the 318s and the 315s, right? The four cylinders are a little bit spanky, right? Spanky, right? But how do I see the world as a BMW owner, right? So when I call the mechanic up, I don't tell him put the cheap shit oil in there. It's just an old Chevy 350. It'll run on it forever. I tell him, Dave, right? You're putting the good oil in, right? Right? Yep. Cool. Done. Boom. So how would I see the world as a BMW owner? Right? By the way, I don't carry full car insurance on it. I carry like the middle stuff. You know what I mean? So as a BMW owner, if somebody were to ding my car, I don't want to spend $4 zillion undinging it. I want someone else to spend the money to unding it. Right? So I'll spend a couple $100 a year for the coverage that I want. Ready? Victoria.
Yes.
Continue, please.
Okay.
All right.
And how would your friends see you?
All right. So notice how this is evolving. First, so I get to suspend disbelief. Could I be a BMW owner? Huh. Well, do I really believe I could be? I mean, is it possible? Is it possible for me to be a BMW owner? What would I see if I'd see keys. Maybe I'd see the right, that kind of thing, right? All right. How would I see? Oh, that's a nice one. Cool. Yeah, you get it? I'm seeing things differently than if I had just my old Chevy piece of shit car. I'd be like, yeah, just put some old tires on it, right? My car, my tires. Victoria just opened a thing to how would your friends, right? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yep. How would your friends see you?
How would my friends see me as the BMW owner, right? Some see me as foolish. Why would you buy a Beamer when you could buy a cheap shit car? Well, because I don't want a cheap shit car, right? It's the ultimate driving machine, right? How do my friends see me? I remember my friend Jim saying, well, when you get a service, it's going to cost you. Not me. Right? I'm going to go to David Brown Mechanical. Boom, right? I pay the same for her car, a Toyota, as I do my car, a BMW, right? Because David Brown Mechanical is cool.
Yeah.
Right? Crass commercial for David Brown Mechanical.
If you live in Eltham.
If you live in Eltham, right?
Yeah.
Let us continue, Victoria.
Okay. So what would you say when you meet them, and what would they say if all the things that you now would like to be, you are?
All right. So let's add in some other wishes, right? So I'm going to have to grab that, just go through the list real quick. What would it be like if I were the man I want to be, right? Double man come work half the time, double man come work half the time again. Why not? Let's do it one more time. So it starts with me wanting it to be, right? I desire to be other than a man who trades time for dollars. Well, is it true that I could be that? Well, somebody else has done that, so it must be true. Do I believe in the law? I sure do. Do I believe it applies to me? Yep. Cool. Well, now, if it is... Okay, so we suspend the disbelief. Well, now, is it true that I could be? We just covered that. Next step. Well, if it were true, what would I see? Again, content. I'd see an Apple computer. I'd feel the Ames chair under my ass. I would hear the traffic going by. It's the same thing. What's the content in my world if this were true, right? Next, how would I see the world? How would I hear the world? How would I feel the Ames chair on my ass? If I had to go to a job, it would be very different. How do I see the world? Wow. I see the world as this lovely place I can wake up slowly in every morning, right? How do I hear traffic? I don't just hear it with my ears, but I hear it going, wow.
Gentle hum.
I don't ever have to do that again. Hey! Right? I don't ever have to do traffic again. Right? Yeah, there's workers up there. Anyway, I don't ever have to... When I hear traffic, how do I hear it? Not just with my ears, but what's my attitude about traffic? Yep. I imagine them listening to my podcast. And we actually have people that drive past the
That'd
house
be cool, yeah,
that are listening to the
your
podcast. How cool is that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
How would I see the world? Okay, so we did what would I see, how would I see it, the content, the computer, how would I see, how would I hear the world, when I go past, what am I internally processing, and how would my friends see me? All right, so I mentioned Jim when I got the Bimmer. Jim also explains to Cube, 20 makes money sharing his lunch. 20 makes money sharing his garden.
Yeah.
20 makes money sharing his puppies. And I want you to all get that we're real. So we share our real lunch, our real puppies, our real garden. We don't rent a helicopter, park it next to a swimming pool, and have a couple people come around and say, hey, look at this. Oh, I'm hanging out with Victoria and my hot cousins. Notice they're all 22 blonde and have big boobs. But anyway, we're rich and successful. And we've got cute cousins, an airplane, and a pool. I always park the plane next to the pool, just something to do. Right? We share you the real.
Yeah.
Right? And so how would your friends see you? How do my friends see me as the guy, no, that was the next one. I'm sorry. What would they say? Right? Jim tells Cube that I make money sharing my lunch. Right? I do. Because you guys get we're real people doing real things. This really works. Okay. Victoria?
Yes.
Let us continue.
Which one are we up to?
We're just
'Cause
repeat
we've
that
done
one and
that
keep
one.
going.
Okay, so
she's going to
what
do a little
would you-
repeat, and then
right.
she's going to continue. That's
What
right.
would you say?
Yo, Dark Mercury.
Oh,
Right.
hello.
Put up a
Dark
link to your
Mockery.
podcast. Do it. Do
Cool.
it now.
What would you say when you meet them? And what would they say if all the things that you now would like to be, you are?
Yeah. Right? Get it? We covered all that. Right? In a couple things. BMW, double work, all that good stuff.
And where would you live if it were true?
Now, I love this because this is just sort of a run-on sentence when Neville does it. Where would you live if it were true? Continue.
What would you still live in the limited state, or would you live in a more wonderful place, in a better state?
Notice all these questions take you in multiple directions. Pretty darn cool. So where would you live if your wish were true? Right? I certainly wouldn't live closer to work. You get it? Some people, they rent their apartment based upon where they work.
Yeah.
Right? If you doubled your income, worked half the time, doubled your income, worked half the time again, where would you live? Someplace with decent fucking internet, I hope. Right? Got it? And finally.
So, yeah, would you live in a more wonderful place or in a better state? Well, then, live there mentally.
Boom. Got it? We just nailed it right there. Now, there's one more quote, but we'll get to that in a bit, right? Because this is important.
Okay.
So we started out this whole week was about not waiting, right? We
Yes.
talked about Joseph Goddard, first thing in the morning,
Start using-
sliding
yeah.
things in, identity-based manifesting. You noticed I did not manifest a BMW. I became a BMW owner. I didn't manifest a six-figure income. No, I'm the guy who doubles my income and works half the time. Doubles my income and works half the time again. Invites her to do the same. Here we are. Right? Isn't it fun? You
Yeah.
remember when you used to go to the place?
Other work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the place closed and you still did the kind of work here and you did a lot of it every day.
Yeah.
Right? And then we just eliminated it. Goodbye.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah.
Have a nice time.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, guys. Ready? Let's get rid of some dumb shit concepts like you must repeatedly impress the subconscious mind into submission so that once you do that, your subconscious mind will release into the superconscious entity of the universe all these things so that the universe will support you in all that you do, that you get to this or something better.
Jeepers creepers.
Jeepers fucking creepers. When people write that and they think it's simple, right? Uma sent me a thing, and I looked at it, and I felt like my eyes were starting to bleed.
I think she's
It's like,
here.
yeah, she's here,
Yeah.
right? It's like, fuck, man. I want you to notice what Neville says. Ready? What's that last PS part? Because that's Neville.
But it takes some bold step in the mind to have you change your pattern of thinking, and therefore your pattern of living.
It takes a bold step. I repeatedly impress the subconscious mind into submission till that little fucker dies and becomes obedient like a good boy. Right? Right. Or you take a bold step. Right? Here's the bold step. I'm not doing that dumb shit anymore. Whenever you suspend disbelief, right? Oh, no, you don't do that anymore. When you suspend disbelief, whenever you get, you know what, I've got a choice today. I can take 8 hours and trade time for dollars, or I can take 8 hours and do something that will give me dividends forever. I've got a local client, and her favorite store is at the Chadstone. You remember the Chadstone?
Yeah, I do.
Right? Everybody type in Chadstone.
The Chadstone.
The Chadstone, right? So what happened at the Chadstone? Does anyone know?
Well, I guess it all sort of shut down, really.
Well, no. Long time ago. See, a long time ago at the Chadstone, Victoria every now and then would have to go to the city and work.
When I drop you off.
Yeah, well, it should go to the city and work. So if she went to the city and worked for like 8 hours, that means it takes her 2 hours to get in, 2 hours to get home, 8 hours gone. That's 12 hours gone. I miss her. Right?
Yeah.
And so I had her take me to the Chadstone, right? And so because it was close to where she was working at. So she'd take me to the Chadstone and drop me off, and I had my big ass leather briefcase, right, with about 40 grand in it, and a laptop computer, and I'd sit there and I'd write an ebook in the course of 8 hours. So I'm at the food court writing either Freedom or Power, I forget which, right? Took me 7-8 hours, right? I sell it for $7. So let's say it takes me 7 hours. I sell it for $7, right? That's a day at work for her, right? And I tell her, "Hey, babe, we sold a copy." She goes, "Oh, you made $7?" Yeah, I did. Right. A week later, oh my God, we sold 10 copies a day. Oh my God, right? Guess what? We're up to 1,000 copies. Whoa, yeah. It keeps fucking growing.
Yep.
Right? Because I'm the guy at double income work at the time, double income work at the time again. My pattern of thinking has me not trading time for dollars all that often. My pattern of thinking has me going, right. And if I do trade time for dollars, all of that goes into some sort of process to help me build systems that exponentially grow and benefit people. You got it? Boom. And it all comes from this. When you let it be all about you, okay, you don't wait anymore. You don't look for signs. When you let it be all about you, you change. Sizzle's asking, anyone know what Whiskey 007 drank? Alrighty.
So, actually, out of interest, changing the pattern of thinking and therefore your pattern of living.
Yep.
I remember Neville had that lecture on the pattern man or something.
Yep. Well, that's more about the promise.
Oh, okay. Yep. I wasn't sure if it was to do with that when seeing you use the same word.
Nope.
Okay.
Cool. And get this. Loving Happy Husband, for you Triple D guys that are doing Manifesting to the Max, Loving Happy Husband has a different pattern of thinking than Loving Happy Puppy Dad, which has a different pattern of thinking than Loving Happy Teacher. They all have that core quality of loving. They all have that core emotion of happy, right? But there's the shift.
Yep.
Right? The state determines the pattern of thinking, and the pattern of thinking and the
pattern of living.
And the pattern of living, right? So, yeah, change your state. So why do we call this 007 manifesting?
I don't know. Just probably because he wanted to get loads of bottles of whiskey.
Look at all that. Look at all that. Oh, my God. How does 007 see the world? I just love. I absolutely love. Like, so one of my favorite 007 movies, it's one of the newer ones, and it's shown 007, he's being chased, he's in the car, right? And they're chasing him, and he's driving the Aston Martin or whatever the fuck it is, like down a hillside.
It used to be a DB9, that's
and
what I
they're
loved.
after him with machine guns, right? And he's but he's looking cool, right? If it would have made it to the 60s, he would have been smoking while he's doing it. But
yeah.
And then after he ditches them all and they smash into each other and they roll off the hillsides and so on, he's driving down the road, and like a gate opens up, and he drives through another thing, and he goes through it, and he goes through all these things, and
sounds like Maxwell
right?
Smart going through all these doors.
And he gets out of the car, and he opens the boot, the trunk in the U.S.
And the whiskey's in there, is it?
Oh no, there's a guy in there. Right? Right?
A live guy.
A live guy, right?
A very scared live guy.
Yeah, you got the guy that's shitting his pants in the boot of the car, right? And you go, Bond, James Bond, right? He's cool, right? Because he's Bond, right? So that's the fun thing, guys. 007 in manifesting. How does a 00 see the world? Very different than a lot of people do. What I suspect people love about Bond, he's always having fun.
Yeah.
I mean, like, people are shooting at him and so on. There's him and Pussy on the beach and so on and so forth. So he's always having fun. So 007 manifesting? Okay, change your identity. Quantum of Solace. Well, I knew you'd know it, right? Go check out the opening of Quantum of Solace. I believe you're right, but it's a fantastic opening, and if you notice, Bond movies almost always open up with something like that: action, adventure, and then all of a sudden there's like, psh, just like the twist is always fabulous.
Okay.
Alrighty,
That's great. So what's the whiskey?
Laphroaig.
There you go, you guys. So Simmy, you owe 1 bottle. Hope 2 bottles. Someone else said
love
Macallan
Laphroaig.
or something.
Now, believe it or not, I forgot that. But it's funny because I'm at the dog park one day with Jim, right? He was my car guy, right? Who said, like, oh, service is going to cost you dearly for that, right? But it doesn't, right? Yeah. But I remember, like, Jim and I talking one day, and he says, what kind of whiskey Bond drank? I'm like, you sure? Right? And sure enough, I looked it up because I got an old James Bond book here somewhere. So I read every fucking page till it's like, boom.
Laphroaig. Well,
All right.
that's one of your favourites.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys.
Probably your favourite.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's my. Even though I try a lot of different ones, but okay. Here's my win of the day. Ready? So there's this Game of Thrones whiskey made by
Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker. I'm not a fan of Johnny Walker.
You'd think it'd be
generally, right?
crap, but it's like this
But it's their winter Game of Thrones whiskey. It's really damn
white
good,
label.
right?
Yeah.
$80 a bottle, right?
And it's a small bottle. It's
700
not
mils.
there.
That's
Is
700
it?
mils. Yep. It just
It's
looks
even
it because it's
smaller.
weird,
Yeah.
right? Because it's white. Remember, white makes you look thin,
Yeah. Oh,
or
yeah.
is it black or something? I don't know.
I'll have to try wearing a white.
But I go in and it's and like I look at the whiskey section. I'm like, Dean, there's nothing here. There's nothing here. And he goes, well, we got a couple bottles of that over there left. And I looked and I told him, I says, all right, how about 2 for $70? It's an $80 whiskey. He goes, all
Because
right.
he said you could have
No,
1 for 40.
yeah, 1 for 40. I said, how about 2 for 70?
Yeah.
And he
that's
goes,
right.
all right. I said, how about 3 for 1, or how about 4 for 140? Right? Yeah, boom, right? So I walk out with $320 worth of whiskey for $140,
Yeah.
just for fun, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm imagining getting a great deal, and you can imagine me. So I walk in the bottle shop. Some of y'all have been there with me, and I'm just staring. There's nothing on sale. And I just tell Dane, this
Don't
is
wanna go to Dan
unacceptable.
Murphy's,
This
that's
is
what you said.
unacceptable. Don't want to go to Dan Murphy's, right? Don't have time to go to show.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm imagining walking out with a great deal. So that's it. So, Victoria,
Yes.
let's do it. Let's
He's
close it up.
fallen asleep as he's
Look at
sitting
that,
up.
Brucey.
Because I'm tickling his belly.
Let me see if I can show you. Bruce.
Okay, so... Oh, yes.
Bruce
there.
is falling asleep.
Oh, he's waking up now.
oh, dear.
He was falling
Dad's
asleep,
sticking
weren't you,
around.
Bubs? Okay,
Hi, Bruce.
what we want to know is... I know you were loving it, weren't you?
Whoa.
What was your strawberry bit?
That's right.
That's what we want to know.
Bum, 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 bum,
And
bum,
my
bum,
bit.
bum.
Yeah, I love the questions that Neville asks and takes you through that, like, is it possible for me? And if it were true.
Yep,
and-
suspend disbelief.
Yes.
What would you see? How would you see the world? How would, quote unquote, the world see you?
Yeah.
Right?
And how would your friends see you?
Exactly. Boom.
Yeah. So that's
And
my
then that-
strawberry bit.
Yeah. Mine?
Yes.
Bold.
Bold. Oh,
Remember,
yes.
Bond is bold,
Yes.
right? All that stuff. You get to notice, what would Bond see? How would he see the world? How would the world see him?
Yep.
Yeah. How many times do they go, Mr. Bond?
James Bond.
Right? Yeah. Even the enemies, they're happy to see him. Bond, welcome. All right. But boldly, guys.
Yeah.
Bold. Bold. Remember Neville says, move.
Oh, that's probably
Bold.
my strawberry bit, actually. Be bold.
So
change the pattern of thinking and the pattern of living.
So Victoria, did we talk about your heavy win yet?
Excuse me, no.
Cool. Let's do it real quick, guys.
Okay.
Real quick. So Victoria's looking at the blue stones, right?
The blue stone
right,
blocks.
$7 a piece. They weigh like 400 pounds each, something like that.
friggin'
They're heavy, right?
Not 400
but
pounds.
because she's going to use them in the garden, and trying to find good ones is tough. Trying to get them delivered is impossible.
Yeah.
So she finds them and she tells the guy, "Give me 100, $7 a piece. That's $700." I said, "Victoria, why don't we just do 1,000?" All right. So
But I'm still waiting for him to tell me how much delivery is going to be. Because at that point, I didn't know how much they were going to be delivered.
Oh, see, she didn't. See, I didn't know this part.
Yeah.
So so I'm imagining. Let's just tell him $1,000 and tell him to bring. Right, bring it. Right.
Yeah.
And so I write him. Yeah. So I'm pretending to be Victoria. So let's make it $1,000 and just make it 142. Right. Call it a day.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Put it on the podcast. Well, the next thing you know, he writes back saying something like, "Well, like it's too much of a pain in the dick to try to count them. Yeah. The truck takes about 180. So we'll give you 180 or whatever it is. It'll be about 180. So normally these things would probably be at least $10 a piece delivered, if not more.
Yeah.
Right? So that's like $1,800, $2,000 worth of bluestones, right?
Yeah.
For $1,000.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah. Well, I'll take a
They're
photo.
all waiting for me.
Yep.
Later.
Boom. And
at least
Raymond
I've got 'em.
concurred. Just put one on the trolley.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
I guess they are pretty heavy.
Oh, really? Yeah, we were talking that this morning.
All right.
All right. So we did all this.
We haven't done any
No.
of that.
Oh, let's do all that. Then go.
We just did our strawberry bits.
my
So
God.
while you type in
Is
your
it?
strawberry bits,
God's sake.
go to freeneville.com,
That's right. 221. Email us pseudo random goodness.
join our 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
And manifestingtothemax.com if you want to dive into identity-based manifesting and all that good stuff.
You're doing
Manifesting
your
to the
James
max.
Bond, are you?
Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, 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 bum.
And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
Lisa Ann, you nailed it. Garden Goddess.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
who's that? I don't even know you, Lisa Ann.
Lisa
but that's
Ann.
lovely.
Boom. Looks like you got gorgeous hair, too. Because your photo's only that big. But
You tell.
and this is when it turns out that it was actually Brian. Somebody had said it because I can't read.
What kind of bluestones I want to pick, says Adelia.
I'll take a photo.
Okay, we'll take a photo of the pile.
Okay, you see the size that my hat is. I'll sit my hat on it so you know how big my head is.
Yeah.
All right, I have a big head, by the way. This will be good. Look for a photo in 4 minutes.
Okay, cool.
All right, so bop, bop.
I think I did it, but I'll say it again in case I didn't. And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
That's right. We love you too, Lisa.
Yeah, love you guys.
Boom.
Okay.
All right.
See you
is gonna be
tomorrow.
the
Your
best.
questions answered live.
That's right. Get them ready. Get them ready.
Yeah. See you.